Hey everybody. I'm here a few minutes early. I did say that to everybody that I was going on around 7 o'clock. If you hear buzzing on this video, my fan is running because again, it is Satan's butt crack hot, and my back office doesn't have air conditioning, so we're just dealing with it. I brought a fan in here, so if that's what the noise that you're hearing is a fan. I'm coming on here a few minutes early. That way I can get kind of like situated. We'll wait for some people to come in. If I do get anybody at all who comes into the chat regarding this subject. And I'm not angry as much as I am frustrated about this subject. To me, this is like beating a dead horse. And I want to preface this video by saying anything I say here is my opinion, and my opinion only. It's my YouTube channel, or our YouTube channel, with the two podcasts that I do, and it's kind of like an outlet for me to add information to shows that maybe not have been as clear as we thought they were when we were talking about them. But this subject just frustrates the shit out of me. It really does. And this is the last time that I am going to be talking about this subject. I feel that it's not so much a moot subject at this point, but a subject that we can move forward from. And I guess all of you who are friends with me on Facebook actually saw my Facebook post earlier today regarding this specific subject. And again, this is my opinion only. I'm not saying that I am here. By the way, you can see Maven. Maybe. Meme. What you doing, girl? I see you. I see you, pretty girl. You looking at them birdies out the window? She likes to sit up there and watch the birds and the crazy squirrels I have living in my tree in the backyard. So, getting back to the subject at hand, again, my opinion and my opinion only. I am not here trying to sway you in any way, shape, or form. Trying to win you over. This is just information, and it's my take on information. My opinion, a lot of things that I've done research on, a lot of things that Bro has done information or research on, and it's getting to the point where it's getting redundant with this specific subject. And it wouldn't be so bad if I didn't wake up every morning to multiple notifications, either whether IMs, DMs, texts, pictures, videos, questions. Again, I mean, it's great that, and I feel honored that there are a lot of people that value my opinion and are willing to ask questions. I don't want you to stop asking questions. Asking questions is what you do to learn. And if I can impart any bit of knowledge on someone with as many years as I have been living and breathing in the paranormal world, then I am most happy to do so. But when I have to constantly repeat myself with, this is the last time we are talking about this subject, or, this is the last time we're going over this subject, it just never fails. It's like, Come on, people. Again, I'm not here to sway um any person who has a healthy skepticism. If you're a skeptic all the way around, I I'm not here to sway you by any means. In fact, I am the exact opposite. When I talk about, or you guys have heard me talk about our group or the groups that I work with, I always say that a healthy amount of skepticism is what makes a great paranormal investigator. Um, there is a song that I absolutely love called Waiting on the World to Change. And there's a line in that song that says, when they own the information, they can bend it all they want, which is 100% true. It gets to the point nowadays where you can't even trust your local news media on certain things that, again, when they own the information, they can choose to alter it any way they want before they give it to you, before you say it. And sometimes it may not be the truth or the whole truth. Let's just put it that way, of a subject. Um, and that's a shame, because that's why a lot of us watch the news or read the newspaper, or nowadays I don't even think many people read a newspaper. I think they have an app on their phone, which is just the same as reading a physical newspaper. Although, if anyone knows me, they know that I actually like books. I love to hold the books. I like newspapers. I love turning the pages of a newspaper. I'm weird because I like the way it smells. I like being able to dog ear, make notes in the margins, all that good stuff. And with electronic media today, you can't do that. Well, you can, but it's not the same thing. To me, it's not the same. I'm a Gen Xer, so that's just me and my idiosyncrasies that I have. I'm gonna get started. It's probably about 2 minutes before 7 o'clock, and I did say that I was going on at 7. So let's get to the meat of this subject here. Again, my opinion and my opinion only. I'm not here to sway people. If you are a total skeptic, great. If you have a healthy skepticism, great. I have always said, like I just said a few minutes ago, that a healthy amount of skepticism makes for a great paranormal investigator. The debunking comes first with everything that you do. And after you've been able to exhaust every amount of debunking that you can do, then we look more towards the actual paranormal happening. And it pains me to have to bring this subject back up again. If you saw my Facebook post, you noticed, and I'm leaning because my back hurts today, so I'm leaning. Sorry if my face looks awful big in this camera that I'm talking to you from. I woke up this morning to 57 notifications. You heard me correctly. 57 about, again, Annabelle. The 57 notifications came by multiple ways: instant messages, DMs, texts, videos, pictures, questions, things that people posted to me to review on my Facebook page. It was on YouTube. It was on my TikTok. It was on Instagram. It was on Snapchat. It was everywhere. And I'm just a little frustrated uh, about this situation. Now, if you don't know who Annabelle is, if you are familiar with Ed and Lorraine Warren, two great, in my opinion, great paranormal investigators. I've read articles, I've watched news feeds. I've watched clips of interviews with them. I've watched all the movies. I'm a huge horror movie buff. And if you are familiar with The Conjuring, then you are familiar with Ed and Lorraine Warren, the Conjuring series. With that being said, if you are familiar with Ed and Lorraine Warren, who lived in the New England area, I believe in Connecticut, you will know that they had been paranormal investigators for quite some time. And in their home, I don't know whether they built the addition or it was just like an office space that they had, or a downstairs rec room or a den. They wound up building a museum of a lot of haunted objects that they had taken from all the investigations they had done. Some of them had negative entities attached to them. Some were demonic, including the Annabelle doll. So if you follow the Annabelle series of movies on TV and out in theaters, you know who Annabelle is. The doll that is in the movies is not a correct depiction or the correct doll that the actual Annabelle doll is. I believe in the movies it is a porcelain doll. Nonetheless, just as scary and, just weird looking. The actual Annabelle doll was a Raggedy Ann doll that they had removed from a home. It was causing issues. It was said to be possessed by the spirit of a small child, a little girl. Ed and Lorraine both thought that was incorrect, that it was demonic. Either way you slice it, demon is not a good thing to be around, and thus they took the doll, removed it from the situation, cleared the house, cleared whatever um, and entities may have been in the home, and took the doll back with them to Connecticut to their home. There is a reason that Ed and Lorraine made sure that there was a priest that would bless this museum of haunted objects on the daily, sometimes numerous times a day. One in particular would be the Annabelle doll. There is a reason that Annabelle was in a glass case that was locked. There was a reason, and there still is to this day, even though I don't believe that the museum is open anymore for tours since Lorraine passed, that there were signs all over the museum telling you, please do not touch or take anything out of this museum, for specific reasons, because they were concerned that being in the general public without the protection of prayer and blessings from a priest, that these objects could once again cause a lot of harmful issues. I am not here to bash anyone. I am not here to bash Ed and Lorraine's family at all. That is not my purpose for this. And, what they do after Ed and Lorraine passed is their own business. That's none of our business. Those items don't belong to us. We can have opinions as much as we want. Opinions are like butts. Everyone has one, and a lot of people don't think they're a stink, but they do, either way. So with that being said, as soon as the news media hit with the fact that Ed and Lorraine's son-in-law was going to be taking Annabelle out of the museum and on a tour across certain states in the country, pandemonium erupted. I think it was on every social media outlet. It was on the news. It was in the newspaper. It was in magazines. It was on TV shows. Do I agree with them taking Annabelle out and taking her on tour? No, I do not. And this is what frustrates me. Because of all those reasons I just listed, again, there is a reason that Ed and Lorraine did not want Annabelle leaving. She was safe there. Everyone was safe with Annabelle being in Connecticut, in a blessed box that was locked, and nobody touching her. Now, your opinion is your own. You can have your opinion all you want. And opinions are great. That's what makes us who we are, and allows us to have freedom of expression and freedom of conversation, freedom of speech. All right. If you had watched any of the interviews that were done with Lorraine in the museum, you will notice that she would even say she's not even going to look at that doll. She's not going to look at Annabelle because she feared for her safety and she didn't want, anything to happen to anybody. I truly believe that her heart was in the right place for the right purpose in order to make sure that Annabelle was away from the general populace. I would be remiss to say if I said that I wasn't angry when I found out that their son-in-law was taking Annabelle out of the museum and taking her on tour. Safety issues for me. Now, you can say that this is a bunch of honey baloney. That the Annabelle doll is nothing but honey baloney. Again, that is your opinion. You can have that opinion. I am not telling you that my opinion is right and yours is wrong. You can think that this is a joke all you want. A lot of the people who believe that it is a joke have never once stepped foot into the world of paranormal investigation. Or if they did, it wasn't for a very long time. I work with a very close group of people that I've called family for a very long time. I work with several paranormal groups. I work on my own as well. And the paranormal groups that I consider family members, we all agree that this was not a good idea. This was one of the dumbest ideas ever. And we've all been working in the paranormal field for a very long time. I've been working in the paranormal field for about 30 years. My brother from another mother, my WT, my Wonder Twin, Jim Spellin, the one I affectionately call Bro, and the rest of my paranormal group have been working in the paranormal field for over 40 years. We were doing paranormal when paranormal wasn't kitschy, when it wasn't fascinating. We were the ones that were told that we're crazy, we're kooky, again, that we're nuts, that none of this is real. And that's your opinion. When you put your entire life or your entire study, your life of study into a specific genre like paranormal studies or parapsychology is another one. You put your all into that, and you go out on investigations, and you've had years and years and years of experience, either, I can't say either, well, experiencing a lot of things that would leave the average Joe questioning themselves, or thinking that they were nuts themselves. Our groups that I work with, the groups that I work with, we have healthy skepticism. We do. And that's a good thing. Again, a very good thing. We are debunkers by nature. And if we cannot debunk something within the best of our ability, then we have to look towards the paranormal. All of the groups that I've worked with for years have all either been pushed, shoved, slapped, scratched, shoved, been affected in some way, shape, or form by something we cannot see. And that's pretty harsh for someone to come and say to someone who this has happened to, and say that didn't happen. I know myself, and what I felt at that moment was very real. Uh, None of us are on any medications for hallucinations, any kind of mental illness. So that's another big thing. And when you have something happen to you that you cannot explain, the amounts of evidence that you've collected over the years, that we've collected over the years, between photos, video, EVP, self experience, all of that. When you get good, hard evidence that shows within a shadow of a doubt there was something that happened, and it was caused by something that nobody saw, or we couldn't see but we heard, and everyone is accounted for. Every cough, every sneeze, every loose floorboard is accounted for in EVP or in video or in photo. Then that's paranormal. It really, really is. That's why we take precautions when we do video, or we go into an investigation and we get evidence using some type of recording equipment. We always mark where we are. If we're going to talk, we'll say our names first. If we bump into something and it makes a noise, we're the first ones to say, hey, that was me, over by, the bed. I tripped by the bed, so that was me. Or I coughed, or I sneezed, or I made a sound. Please mark it. That way, when we review the evidence, we know to throw that out. And the tireless hours that are spent reviewing evidence, the hours and hours and hours of video, EVPs, photos, interview with the client or with the family members, that takes a lot of our time. And if we didn't love it, we wouldn't do it. We also talk about, and if you've watched our podcasts or listened to our podcast before we became video podcasts, you've heard Bro and I and our producer Tim Hopper and anyone that we've ever had on as far as like interviewing. You've heard us multiple times talk about creating your own haunting. When you are so obsessed that all you want to do is fixate on an object or a movie or something that is haunted, you yourself create your own haunting. I would like to wake up one morning and not to see a picture of Annabelle that somebody sent me, or a news article about Annabelle that someone has sent me. And a great majority of those who poke fun at it are those, again, who have never spent either a day or as many years as the rest of us have in the paranormal field. Pardon me. Make fun of it. Go ahead. Because eventually you're going to fuck around and find out. And most of you that watch this channel are friends of mine. You'll be the first one calling me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning saying you're hearing stuff in your house. You've got things going on. You've had an experience and you want me to come get it. Well, I have told you multiple times not to fool around with this stuff. If you want to go on an investigation, if you want to learn, we as a group will teach you. Study. Go out on a couple of investigations that are your garden variety hauntings. Not demonic, which is what Annabelle is. I think it was a very bad idea for the family to take Annabelle out and parade her around the streets. There are people that believe in coincidence. Fine. I'm not telling you not to have a healthy belief in coincidence. But when shit happens so many times in a row with this object, and it didn't happen while that doll was in Connecticut, some things are starting not to add up. You've heard me say this before. I did believe in coincidence at one time, but when things happen so many times, you start to not believe so much in coincidence, but believe in something called synchronicity, which means it happens. There is a reason that something has happened, at least one thing has happened in each and every state that Annabelle has been in. You know what? You guys who bought tickets, you do you, boo-boo. You spent that money. You wanted to see the doll. You wanted to clout or gloat about it and get the clout and the videos or the pictures and say, hey, I was around Annabelle, just to make yourself relevant. That's fine. That's you. But what you're doing is you're adding to hysteria. I do believe that there is something definitely wrong with that doll. I do not believe that it is the spirit of a 7-year-old little girl, like they claim it is, that some people claim it is. I do believe in Ed and Lorraine Warren saying that it's demonic. And it should not be out of that museum in Connecticut where it has been safe for so many years. Oh, it's just coincidence. Okay. Then all those years that it was locked up in the Warrens Museum, you never heard a peep out of it. It never did anything. Stayed in its case. You didn't hear anything happening with the Annabelle doll. And now all of a sudden, now that it's out of its museum in Connecticut and traipsing around the United States, all this shit is happening. In Louisiana, 10 inmates escaped a maximum security prison. I still don't know if they found all 10 of them. I know that the great majority of them were found. A mansion burnt to the ground, spontaneously burnt to the ground. There was issue with two people who saw it after that, and wound up one woman wound up dying of a heart attack after, which can be explained if she had already cardiac issues, whatever's. That's fine. You believe in what you're going to believe in. I'm going to believe what I'm going to believe in. You wouldn't catch me. Everyone here knows that I go to Gettysburg quite a few times a year. And it's just because I love the city of Gettysburg. I love everyone I've met. I'm very thankful to the time travelers who allowed me to join their group with open arms. I just came back last Monday, from Gettysburg. I took my mother on a trip, and I made sure that I made it before Annabelle got to Gettysburg. I even warned several people that live within that area that just please, whatever you do for those 3 days, I don't care. Go on vacation, do whatever you have to do. But these are people that I know and I love, and I don't want them to get hurt. I did hear the tickets sold within a matter of hours, sold out to see Annabelle in Gettysburg. And yes, the 57 notifications I got, yes, I am well aware that Annabelle wasn't even in the state 8 hours, and the 911 system or emergency systems for the entire state of Pennsylvania went offline. I am well aware of that. I was sent 57 notifications and pictures and videos of people lined up to see Annabelle. You know what? You couldn't catch me, touching that place with a 10-foot pole, not within 1,000 miles. And that is not because I'm afraid of it. What would I be doing in the paranormal field for over 30 years if I was afraid of it? I'm not afraid of it. The sign of a good investigator is once you hear a noise or you witness something, excuse me, you witness something happening, you don't run in the opposite direction. You run towards it because you want to know what it was. So it's not because I'm afraid of it. It's because I have a healthy respect. I haven't been able to do what I do for the past 40 some years, with my abilities, and then 30 some years in the investigative field, without having a healthy respect. I have learned to respect spirit. And yes, I will even tell you that I respect demon. You may not believe in demon, but I do. My spiritual practice may say otherwise, but when you have been possessed more than once, and my group family can tell you that I have. When I have been scratched, when I've been burned, when have felt 3 scratches down my back that are unwarranted, don't know where I got them from. There was no one else around in the room. You believe in things that you cannot see, that you can only feel or you only experience physically. And that allows you to get a healthy respect for that and know when to walk away from situations. I've heard, oh, well, if you're a paranormal investigator, why aren't you running to see the Annabelle doll? Because I don't care. Because I don't care to say it. Since this whole fiasco has started, that is all people seem to want to eat, sleep, and breathe. is this Annabelle doll. Is the Annabelle doll. I've seen enough photos of it that that's good enough for me. Um, I know where my energy needs to be. Uh, I don't feel it necessary to be front and center in front of it and to quote unquote witness it. I can witness it from a photo. You guys, again, can poke fun at it, and you're going to fuck around and find out one day. And then you're going to be calling me to help you. I'm sorry. I know it's, 3 o'clock in the morning, but I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but nothing. I warned you about this, and it was by your choice that you chose not to believe me. Figure it out. You caused that amount of destruction. I had nothing to do with it, and I'm not going to put myself in that type of danger, all because of someone's stupidity. Bottom line, you can poke fun at it all you want, but until you've actually been face to face with something that you can feel, you can hear, or see, because they do show up, that does not look natural, that is threatening you, then you become the believer. Again, I'm not here to get you to believe anything. I'm not here to sway your opinion. I'm not here to get you to hop the fence at all. And when that day comes that you guys don't pay attention to me again for the 100th time, I'm going to do what us Pisces do. I'm not going to warn you. I'm just going to quietly slip away and have nothing to do with you. I'm more than willing to help people. But when I have to tell someone a million times to just stop, it's not a joke and it's not funny anymore. It really isn't. It's frustrating, it's obnoxious, and it's annoying that I have to wake up every morning and think, oh, I'm getting a text, about lunch next week with this person. And I open up the text and boom, there it is again. Another Annabelle. Or boom, there again, another this. Or boom, again, another Ouija board. Okay. I'm not stupid. I'm not a dumbass. I mean, you may think I'm a dumbass, but I'm not a dumbass. I love the paranormal world. But when you talk about the subject of Annabelle, for months and months and months, and it's the only thing that is on the tip of your tongue, it's like beating a dead horse. Okay, yeah, I get it. Did I warn my friends that we're going to Gettysburg this week? Absolutely. Take away, with what you will. Take from that what you will. And that way they can't come back and say, oh, you didn't warn us, because I did. I've warned several people, again, that I know that live in that area and that I love, and just please stay away. I don't think you could have gotten tickets anyway, because I know, like I said earlier on, that I believe they stated that the tickets were sold out within like an hour or so, or a couple hours or whatever. I do know that they had 1 or 2 tickets left, I guess it was, and this ice cream shop was doing a raffle, but you had to buy an Annabelle sundae. No, no. Your ice cream may be great, but you can keep your Annabelle sundae. No, thank you. I'll be at the battlefield, or I'm gonna, better yet, I'm not even gonna be in the city. I'm gonna be far away from that. Um, can you guys just stop? I mean, that's a little asinine to wake up this morning to 57 notifications. I mean, if they could send them by carrier pigeon and by smoke signal, I think I would have got them, if y'all knew how. Annabelle is nothing to mess with. There is a reason that the Warrens locked the door to the museum that was attached to their house. There was a reason that they wouldn't let Judy in there, and they kept it locked at all times. There is a reason when they opened it as a museum, they had a guided tour. You couldn't go in there by yourself. And you were told multiple times in multiple areas, don't touch anything. Put it, I sound like there's this girl and there's this lady. I shouldn't say girl. There's a woman that I absolutely love that is on social media. She's on TikTok. She's on Instagram. And it's Curvy Black Witch. And she is my Jamaican spirit animal. And, she's always saying, put it back. Yes, put it back. There was no reason to touch it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. You can see it with your eyeballs. You don't need to be feeling up all on it or moving it. You can see with your eyeballs. That's what God gave you eyeballs for. To see. You can examine it by not touching it. You can give it the once over, up and down. And say, interesting. Interesting. I'm not dismissing the paranormal world at all, because I wouldn't have been born with the gifts that I was given if it wasn't for a specific purpose for the paranormal world. I love the paranormal world. I love the gifts I was given. Are they a curse sometimes? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Do I wish I had them didn't have them sometimes? Yeah. But then I would be very lonely if I didn't have spirit around me all the time, whispering or chattering or poking me or touching me on the shoulder, and helping me with my paranormal investigations. It was more of that if you can't beat them, join them thing. And with the help of Spirit of the Sword Paranormal, which is my home base paranormal group, I found my home. After 30 some years of wondering, actually 40 some years of wondering, what am I supposed to do with this? How am I supposed to function with this? I don't know. What is the purpose of this? I found purpose, and I found a home, and I found a family that accepts me for who I am and what I do, and wouldn't accept me any other way. I think if I showed up and was actually normal, they would start to question. They would definitely start to question. This field has given me an immense amount of opportunities and events, and where I've met so many people who have just been like family to me. And this is a journey that has just begun. Even though it's been 40 some years or 30 some years with paranormal investigations, 40 some years um, since I actually actively started using my gifts. Uh, it seems like a long time, but it has been but a short ride. And I look forward to more opportunities, more investigations with my family. We look out for each other. And bro will be the first one to tell you that if we do a demonic case and it's ponying up and it's knuckling up, the first thing I'm doing is stepping in front of him because I can see it. Not today, Satan. Not my family members. And at the same time, I know my place. And I get the questions all the time, what happens? How does that work? Because you're surrounded by 3 Christians and you are the only pagan out of the group. Mostly Christians. In fact, I work with other paranormal groups and it's mostly Christians. How does that work? That's not supposed to work because you're of a different faith or a different spiritual practice. It works because I grew up Roman Catholic. I did not change my spiritual practice or my spiritual beliefs until the age of 19. So I still remember all their prayers. I still remember the rites of exorcism. I still remember the blessings. I still remember how to light incense. I still remember how to send blessing. Just because it comes from a different vehicle doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's not. I'm not beyond holding a cross for our demonologist and our exorcist. I'm not beyond lighting incense or spreading holy water on someone for our, our demonologist, our exorcist, our ordained members of our group. I was always taught that if it goes in the right direction, towards the light, towards the good, that it doesn't matter what spiritual practice it came from, that it's worth it. In that same sentence, we all learned, especially from me, that if you are dealing with other varieties of witchy poodum, hexes, curses, are do they still happen? Yup, but they're very rare now. Not like they used to be 100 years ago or 50 years ago. They're very rare, but they still do happen. Hoodoo, voodoo, does it still happen? Yeah. Is it very rare sometimes that someone makes a puppet or a voodoo doll or a gree or, puts a curse on someone or hexes someone? Yeah, but they still happen. But in order to reverse it, whatever spiritual practice brought it has to send it back. And I love being a cult specialist. I am also an occult specialist with our groups. I study all factions of spiritual practice, whether dark or light or Catholic or bruja or hoodoo or voodoo or sandaria. I research, I learn. Islam, I learn. I wish I could show you half of my book collection that I've studied over the years. Because it's a fascinating collection. I have Qurans, I have Bibles, I have grimoires, I have, uh, scripture that some of my Jewish friends have said to me or sent to me, and I find it fascinating. And it makes for good conversation And it makes for a good way to put people at ease if you know what you're talking about, rather than blowing smoke up their ass. Study, you know, and all these things about Annabelle that she was missing. For the love of Pete, she was not missing. Stop it. Again, social media, people believing in TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp, all those other branches of social media, X that used to be Twitter, now is X. You know, if I went outside and said the sky is pink and made you look up at the sky, knowing that damn well that it's blue, could I make you believe it's pink? These are people who, it's clickbait. It is clickbait. These are people who want to get views, or people who want to get, subscribers or members. Look at this. I've been doing this YouTube for about a year now. I'm lucky if I got one thumbs up on a video or one comment on the video. Do I give a shit? Absolutely not. I'd care less if I had a million followers or one follower. You know, there's a saying in that movie, if you build it, they'll come. You know, I'll sit here by my time talking to myself. It's important to not believe everything you read. Annabelle was never lost. Annabelle never went missing. Jesus. You people sometimes just make me so frustrated and just add to my high blood pressure. You really, really do. You really, really do. Can we stop sending me shit about Annabelle and stop sending me shit about Ouija boards? It's not funny anymore. It's not. And if you continue to do that, I will block you on everything, even your phone number. This is the last time I'm talking about Annabelle. Do I believe she is demonic? Absolutely 100%. Do I believe that she caused a great majority of those things to happen while she's been out and about, and hopefully after today she's going home to Connecticut to be locked up in the museum where she belongs? Good riddance. Throw away the key. Lock it up. Absolutely. I believe that she caused these things. There are some things in this world that people cannot see that happen. So, well, I have to see it to believe it. Okay. Can you hear me? I know you can hear me. Hello. I know you can hear me. Science is proven. What is that? Sound waves. Can you physically see the sound waves coming out of my mouth? No. But you can hear me. I mean, you can't see the wind. You can watch it move things, but you can't physically see the wind. Does that mean it doesn't exist? No. Again, you believe what you want to believe. I'm going to believe what I want to believe. And I will continue to help people. And this is the reason I got into the world of the paranormal, was to take my gifts and use them for a good purpose in order to help a family who thinks that they're going nuts to help a family who hasn't slept in months be able to sleep in their own home. To make the physical attacks go away. Help them to live peaceful, happy lives. And you haven't spent a day in this paranormal field if you haven't seen a family who is at their wits' end, and a mom, a wife, a husband, a father break down and cry because they have no control over what's in their house. All they know is that it's not allowing them to sleep, and it's scaring the shit out of their kids. When we get testimony back after we've been to a place and we've cleared, because we're in the world of paranormal resolutions, which means we get rid of it. We just don't come in there like you see on TV, and make you pay our airfare, our hotel, our lodgings, our food, everything, gas money, rental car, this, all to spend a night with them and load up all these cameras and this and that and everything else, EVP recorders, tape recorders, all kinds of equipment, REM pods, obelisks, cat balls, this, that, and catch information and then say, yep, your house is haunted. Here's all your information. Bye. Thanks for the airfare, the hotel, the food, the gas, the rental car, and the payment. Bye. You know what you've done then? You have done a family a disservice. You've just shown off, is what you've done. Now you're leaving a family who has probably not slept in months or has literally had to vacate their home and purchase or rent another home or stay in a hotel room because they can't even come into their own house. You've left them with no resolution. You have left them worse off, because now the spirits, because through provocation, you probably provocated, and you pissed off a spirit, making it more angry than it was when you got there, and now you're leaving for the family to deal with it. No. Do our investigations, do they require more than one time? Maybe. Sometimes. Like in the 10 years I've been working with this group, 11 years I've been working with this group, twice. That's it. Twice in 11 years we had to go back. And it was because those families did not pay attention. They get homework from me in order to keep it away. Because now that they've been touched, the possibility of it coming back and bringing friends is much greater. But I give them tools. We, as a group, give them tools that they can use to keep it away. Those two families did not pay attention, and they admitted it. And after the second time, we're like, we're not going to be back a third time. And we haven't. But when you get testimony, you get a phone call, you get a testimonial on your webpage thanking you, and that it's been the first time in months that the entire family, including the pets, have had an entire peaceful night's sleep. Nothing's woken them up. Nothing's terrified them. Everything was silent. That is the best payment in the world. And neither any of the groups that I deal with, past or present, have we ever charged someone to come out and do anything. If they'd like to give us a donation, like a charitable donation, hey, let me give you a couple bucks for the gas because I know it was 2-hour ride or 3-hour ride to get here, and you spent 8 hours here, and now you're going home and you're all tired. we will graciously accept it. That will go back into the gas kitty for the next time we need to, take a trip that's long, you know. We've even we've accepted dinner from the family, or Dunkin' Donuts, not a sponsor. Donuts, coffee. We accept that. It's always our pleasure, and our payment, if it deals with children, especially with children, is them telling me that they're not afraid to sleep in their room anymore. That they had a good night's sleep, and to see them smile and be a child again. Play, have fun, have play dates, have sleepovers. That's our payment. And that's what makes me proud to do what I do. Is at the end, having that client have that aha moment, or, oh wow, you could have never known that. Or you guys have helped us so much. And we even get texts, emails, and phone calls from families that we helped years ago. We get Christmas cards saying, everything is still great. We paid attention. We're listening to what you told us to do. Everything has been silent. It's been the best 3 years, 4 years, whatever. How many years, we're still doing great. Or like an update on the family and how they're doing, or pictures, of happy children, being able to play in their rooms or sleep at night, or, be able to function. Pets that are no longer afraid to go in certain rooms of the house anymore, who aren't scared, who don't cower under the bed, all that good stuff. That's what makes it all worthwhile. And, just, I seriously want to put to bed the Annabelle thing. Do I think she's real? Absolutely. I don't think it's a 7-year-old child. I think it's a demon. And I think it's more than one, to be honest. I can't speak for everybody else on whether it was a bad idea for people to buy tickets to go see Annabelle. For me personally, yes. That was a bad idea. Bad idea. Very bad idea. I cannot speak for the people who machinated this tour. I can't speak for the people who okayed it. I can't speak for the people whose venues that she was at, or are at right now. Is that or at, oh God, I sound like a hood rat right now. Where she is at right now. They're going to do what they're going to do. Do I think it was a big old money scheme? Yep. Again, my personal opinion. I don't care that you think otherwise. Don't come at me, because this is my opinion and my page, and I can do whatever I want on this page. It's terrible that things had to happen. And again, one of these days, one of y'all is going to fuck around, find out, and then come running to me for help. And I'm like, nope, sorry. I warned you, and you did the exact opposite more than once. Please, for the love of all that is good and holy and great Odin's eyeball, stop sending me photos of Annabelle and of Ouija boards. It is not funny anymore. I do not find it funny. I do not find it amusing, and I don't find it entertaining. I want no parts of that. And I am extremely serious. Now, I know of at least 3 people that are probably going to watch this that are going to continue and watch them get blocked real quick. I'm tired of it. I really, really am. I can't count on my fingers and toes how many times I've walked into a house and I've had a family lie to me about a Ouija board. It is not fun and games. It is not for ages 8 and up. No. It is a conduit. It is a door that you can open to another dimension. And you don't know what you're getting out of there because you're not experienced. I mean, it's just, it's gone beyond getting a rise out of me at this point. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I don't want emails. I don't want texts. I don't want phone calls. I don't want any of that. Instant messages, videos, pictures, clips, news articles. I don't want it. The first person that sends me something about an Annabelle doll, once I've told you to stop multiple times, is going to get blocked without hesitation. And I am not going to sit here and explain why again. I'm not going to explain why to you, and I am not going to apologize. I am not going to give you that type of energy or expend that amount of energy on someone who's just going to eat it and then walk away and ask for more later. I mean it. I'm tired of the whole Annabelle situation. You all know my feelings on Annabelle. You know my feelings on everyone that's involved in that tour. I've said it multiple times and I don't feel like I need to say it again. My opinion and my opinion only, and I'm allowed to have an opinion about people. I'm allowed to choose who I associate with, who I will give validity to, and who I keep in my inner circle. And I feel as though my spidey senses are telling me that I'm going to be cutting off more people. And it's a shame. And it's unfortunate. But again, this has given me this here doing paranormal investigations and doing what I do has afforded me a lot of new friends that I call family. And I'm willing to do a lot for, because you're always willing to stick your neck out for family to a certain extent. Then when they start acting crazy pants and like, they don't owe you nothing, time to cut them. Time to cut the ties. I'm not talking about toxic people. I'm talking about people that really actually care. So, and I will continue to keep doing what I'm doing. And again, this will be the last time I talk about that blasted Annabelle doll. I'm not giving it any more validity. I'm not giving it any more power, because this is what it does. You sending me those 57 notifications today, overnight, is giving validity to it, is giving it what it wants, which is notoriety, validity, fear of it, and a whole bunch of other things that are none too good. Because the more you do that, the more you feed it, and the more you feed it, the stronger it gets. I will be very happy when Annabelle is back in Connecticut, in that museum, in her home, behind a locked door. And my opinion again, shame on those people who put it out there, who took it out and just traipsed it around the country. That's if they're willing to do that, what else are they willing to do? They're willing to take more objects out of that now that the Warrens have passed. And are willing, if they're willing to take the Annabelle doll out, why not the the music box from The Conjuring? Why not the demonic bone statue from the Conjuring movie with Arnie? Why not the samurai? Why not the black doll of death? With the real teeth. I that you know and I think it's that a certain something, and I'm not going to make mention of it, that it clouds people. They get it, and then they just want more, and they want more, and they want more. I mean, it's been an hour and 11 minutes. I'm getting off of here. I've said what I had to say, and it just goes to show you that the people who consider me important showed up, which is 0. But I'm going to keep on keeping on doing what I'm doing because I love doing this. And I couldn't see me doing anything else. And it's a service I provide for people. And the smiles that I get, the aha moments, the you were rights, I finally slept in the first time in weeks. And my kids could actually be kids. And I didn't have to move. And you proved I'm not nuts. And my especially working with kids that are gifted, letting them know that they're not crazy. Me too. If I made it, they can make it. And I'm willing to give them any advice that they can use to help them be able to be viable citizens. To walk around, and be normal parts of society. Just a little special, And I love watching kids smile when they find out they're not crazy from me. And I give them that, you know what, I was the same way too. And look at me. I'm an adult now. And I wish I had someone to help me when I was your age. But I think that's why I'm here now, is to be able to help you. You're going to be okay. And I'm here whenever you need. That's one of the best gifts I could ever get from a child that I help. So, no more Annabelle crap. This is your last warning, because I'll start blocking people without even speaking. Delete, block. Watch me. Why haven't I been able to call you for weeks? Well, I don't know. Why don't you answer your own question? All right, everybody. We will be here on YouTube tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on StreamYard and on Facebook Live on my Facebook page, because everything is a go that I know of for another edition of Witches Winging It. It's a podcast that I do with me and my sister from another mister, my witchy poo, Jen Dotson. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. She's thought of all of the topics we're going to talk about. We just wing it. We just start chatting away, and eventually something pops up about the witchy world. And stay for the information, stay for the laughs, stay for the jokes. It's what we do. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it will be here posted on Facebook, or excuse me, on YouTube. It will be on Facebook Live on my Facebook page and on StreamYard, which is Winging It with me and Jen Dotson. And I'm sure some commentary from our producer, Tim Hopper. All right, everybody, I'm getting off of here. Love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all. Bye.